Anna, you know the Free Syrian Army High Command. Would you be confident that if rebels were armed, it would get into the right hands? There have been defections from within the Free Syrian Army, people turning to Islamist groups instead, Al-Qaeda-linked groups instead. Do you feel confident from what you've heard then that there are groups that have worked properly with US forces that you would feel confident about arming in this situation?
Look. She's saying.
All right. OK, we have to end it there, but thank you all. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. No one knows where the virus has come from, but the World Health Organization has warned it can be passed by close personal contact. The global outbreak has so far killed 18 people, infected some 34. In France, a second man is in intensive care with the disease after sharing a hospital room with the country's first victim. Most of the cases so far have been in Saudi Arabia or have affected people who'd been travelling in the Middle East. The virus appears to be incubated by bats. Susan Watts with that report. Well, we're joined from Maryland by Dr. Fauci, a leading scientist and immunologist and director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. He's also an advisor to the White House on medical and public health preparedness against infectious disease threats, and his organisation is researching the nature of the coronavirus. And I just want to ask you whether, Dr. Fauci, that sounds realistic, this idea of social distancing when you travel. Is that something that people should really be taking on board? The idea of the origin of the coronavirus coming from bats, does that make sense to you, the way it has travelled through the system? You're looking for the source. How easy is it to work with the health departments of other governments, particularly within the Middle East? For example, that it's quite difficult to get information out of Saudi Arabia, which seems to be at the centre of this virus, because they're not offering up what's going on. Just before we go and I show you the papers, Manchester City have confirmed tonight they've sacked their manager, Roberto Mancini, after the defeat in the weekend's FA Cup final against Watford. So that will be, Wigan. That will be 2 new managers in Manchester next season. The Daily Telegraph then has the commander of the International Space Station, Chris Hadfield, comes back to Earth today after regaling us these last 5 months with a series of YouTube videos ranging from how to throw up in zero-G to how to perform a musical duet with the Bare Naked Ladies. Well, as a finale, he's decided to delight or traumatise David Bowie fans. Good night.